Well, hello there, human to be earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for joining me today. And today we're going to be talking about something I'm trying to change in my gameplay. And one of the most common causes of fatalities in the chicken dinner field is third partying. I want to talk about how you can play smarter and not get third party so often. It's really quite simple. And it involves something that is a little bit of a mantra of mine in another one of the games that I play, which is World of Tanks Blitz. And it's basically try to do things from as far away as you can do them efficiently. And the idea behind this is, so there's two guys over there and they've pushed in there, the squad mates of that bloke, so they know I'm there, that I just cleared. And this is the very first game I played all season. This is my first FPP solo versus squad game of the season on the Asia server. So if you're going to say that it's a low rank, it's because everyone's pretty much a low rank right now. So stop freaking out, man. This is the first game of the season. And obviously there's a lot of people here who do know what they're doing. As the game will progress, you will see why that is the case. Now, I could have charged that on that corner on the knock. What I did instead was go and get elevated, know that they're going to try and use that wall there to get a shot in and drop a grenade. I don't have to do the hard yards up front and up close and personal. Likewise, I've heard two separate bouts of gunfire here. That's two different squads. I'm assuming one's at hospital and one is over here at these areas. And I watched for a little bit, saw that this guy was on his Pat Malone, and I go over there and I get the kill. I don't charge into the hospital, guys. Get really up close and personal, get wiped by that guy and get wrecked. And that's what generally happens with third-party play. Now, third-party is not the perspective. It's not first-person perspective and third-person perspective. Third-party is when there's two parties engaged in a gunfight and you roll in and get hammered as roll in and hammer them as a third party. And there's nothing worse in this game than being engaged in a gunfight and getting clawed on from everywhere else on the map. And that's exactly what's happening right here. There's a squad right above me in the hospital. There's another guy from that squad who's going to roll down and get the gear that they killed these dudes down the way. And I'm going to roll in here. And the big part that I'm talking about here is I want you to look at the distance that I keep from this squad and how I'm absolutely loath to just go over there and get involved, and how I know that there's no real need for me to get so aggressive with these guys. I have a great overlook. We've all got to get into the zone, but I'm bleeding them. I've got plenty of gear and plenty of kit. There's a car down there. I'm hopeful of taking that. If not, I can just wander off and get a vehicle further down the road. It's an early zone. It's not going to hurt too much. In fact, I'm so confident I'm going to go back and loot this guy and then come back and get stuck in. That's when I hear the car. So I'm like, I can't miss this opportunity. The other member of that squad is coming up to return, and that's too easy. There we go. We get the knock on him. Going to thirst him up if they don't pop up and try and stop me. Yep, there we go. He comes out to stop his mate from being thirsted. And then get the guy down below as well. And there's a squad wipe. Happy days. Seems really, really easy when you do it like that. But it's obviously a little bit more difficult. The thing that I'm pointing out here is all these are good gunfights. All these are good engagements. But none of them are happening any closer than I absolutely have to take them. And what this does is it gets rid of it's risk mitigation, okay? It's like being an insurance actuary where you make up the numbers and you look at them and you say, well, doing X, Y, Z is a 10% risk. Doing X, Y, but no Z is only a 1% risk. So why don't we do that one and get a very good likelihood of a good outcome, but take very little risk on board for us. So I'm third-party peeking and tapping away with a Mini 14, a very fast-firing gun that doesn't do a lot of damage compared to a Kar 98, but allows you to move around and scope and stuff, and I'm not taking any real risk. Likewise, the way I'm coming into this circle, all the gunfights have been up at these compounds, right? What I'm looking at doing is finding a space that is not in the compounds, but gives me a look at the compounds. And I'm looking to leverage that whole third-party idea again here. I'm looking to find a gunfight between two or more squads that I can turn into a little bit of chicken dinner gold. Now, obviously, there is someone at that compound there. I can see that there is a car there, and I've been watching, if truth be told, through the 8 times on the Kar 98, just looking for that action. And this is a big depression above the, oh, hello, someone directly behind me. This is my compound right now. Cool. This next guy is pretty cool. And he is Australian. Blue Stain. Shout out to you, baby. So I'm basically looking to find hardcover. I'm like, hello? Okay. Now, someone headshot me there. That's where that came from. And that was his partner, I believe. There you go. There's another Kar 98 suppressed. I'm over here. We're going to thirst him up. Don't want him telling me anyone about what's going on there. Stain blue, sorry. Get a smoke up. Just start the heal and look for the guys down the hill. Now, again, what I'm doing here is 100% about minimizing the possibility of anyone cracking me. I'm going to let those guys fight. There's squads fighting directly to my east. But all I'm worried about here is the guy that shot me with the Kar 98. Where is he? What's he doing? Is he still around? Did those squads just pick him off? We just don't know. The way we can tell is if we watch the circle shunt in, we'll be able to see if there is anyone coming in on the edge of that circle, because it's a late circle. And late circles are just too blue. They're too damaging for you to pretend that you can just sit in them and heal through for any length of time. So what we're going to do now is hug the edges. Even though this is going away from the safe zone, I'm looking to create a little bit of problems for these guys down here and maybe leverage that into either a squad wipe or a knock. Someone's firing at me. That's cool. Get a couple into him, couple downstairs. That's fine. Like, I don't need to worry about them. They can keep for later. Going to throw a smoke there just to give myself a little bit of confusion and delay. Roll up here, and I'm actually going to take the car and roll into the next compound as hard as I possibly can. Now, this is all about being smart with the way you play PUBG Mobile. And what I can do sometimes, especially after so many... I mean, I run around in the Season 2 Ace Parachute, right? I've been around for quite some time in terms of seasons, and you can get bored. Here we go. I think this may be the partner of the bloke that I wiped. There we go. I'm not sure, but he went down instantly. So it could be him with the Kar 98. Yeah. Did he have a suppressor? I think that was him. I think it was the bloke who headshot me earlier. One of the things that you can do is just be too aggressive. Yeah, that was definitely him. And that will result in some really aggressive, fun gameplay, but it doesn't always result in the kind of gameplay that a lot of people need to do to get rating. And this is how you can get rating in FPP, in any mode, in fact. You take risks that are smart risks. You're going to have to fight full squads, that's fine. You look for a knock, you look to leverage a knock. And when you get into a situation like this where you've got 4 guys on you, you start working the numbers, and that's when you start taking smart risks like, there's one guy inside, I've got 2 knocked, there can only be one guy outside, why not hit him? And then we're going to clear the last guy, we're not thirsting anyone. He's got to come down there, the blue zone, so we're now camping the zone. Squad wipe. Okay, that was as sensible a squad wipe as you'll ever see. I didn't need to get the knocks or the thirst. What I did was I got the first knock. Then I saw an opportunity for the second knock. And then I know there's one guy inside. That means there's got to be a guy outside or even 2 guys inside. The zone's shutting down. I'm going to get on the edge of the zone and I'm going to come away a winner. So all these things are at the best possible practice, best case scenario they can be for me. I am getting into the circle, or I am examining the circle from the right distance. I am taking engagements from as far away as possible. And you're going to see, this might not look too clever to you, but I'll explain what's going on here. I know that the 2 guys that were down there, that I knocked one of them, they have to have come into that section of the circle. This is another squad coming in here. So there's 2 guys directly to my north. I can't see them. I'm baiting them. I'm basically trying to get an idea on where they are. And then what I'm going to do is get them to keep firing at me and pull a Gren. Okay, I want them to keep firing at me at that little window there. See, first one at the house. See if he fires. Okay, then we hit the wall. Shoot again to get him to pop out. Get the knock, and now we're going to turn this into an opportunity to get down closer into a position where we can get our final chicken dinner push on. We're going to pop that corner in case he thinks we're pushing around there. This is going for an unlikely win, but we're going to get safe, get full up. So we're now a chance of getting in close quarters, brawling, where I feel pretty comfortable. I feel pretty comfortable brawling down here, right? There was no way I was going to get that done. I could have pushed the house. I would have been pushing into a full hit point, well-armored dude, as well as his mate, who could have been up as well. Here we go. I'm going to get outside. Now, this is good control here. I'm going to stand on the top, wait for the first guy to go in, and then I'm going to take, again, the guy that's left outside. Now, this gets hectic because this guy is actually quite good. His movement and control is actually pretty good. And he's gone high. And I'm like, oh, bugger, he's gone high. He's gone high. I'm going to have to get back and around, get a reload in, get a hit, another hit, one more. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Chicken dinner. First of the season, and a great fun game that I thought shows, you know, when you're playing early season, you're playing with a lot more care and thought than you are after your 100th solo squad hot drop at boot camp. And I think that game was well worth a look. So remember, take the engagements as far away as is efficient and is possible, with as little risk as possible to yourself. And then when you've got to go nuts out, do it with some aplomb and some intelligence. And I'm doing a close quarters combat CQC masterclass guide at the moment. I'm up to episode 2. I've been editing, cutting and splicing, and a lot of that is going to deal with those situations there and how I think my way through them, because I certainly do time seems to go slower once you get used to this kind of thing, and you do seem to be far more effective. Anyway, I'm Bushka. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to doing more content with you over the next few weeks. Remember to follow on Instagram. We had our first 2 million view week this week. We had 2.3 million views on my Instagram account, instagram.com/thebushka, which crazy numbers, just insane for little old me. Anyway, love your work. Thank you so much for following. And until next time, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.